personal and collective privilege. Noong mga unang mga araw ko pa lang dito sa Senado, binigyan din ko na po sa mga committee hearings at sa plenaryo ang kahalagaan ng resibo. Pag sinabi ko pong resibo, hindi po yung binibigay ng mga kahera sa mga tindahan pag may binibili ka. Ito po ay yung pagkakaroon ng pruweba sa mga nangyayari.
Sana nandoon yung, for example, on page 22 halimbawa, this is supposed to be the figure that will be written para maka-accomplish po yun. In other words, di ko po alam kung nagkamali ako, but I was unable to find a particular page.
To interpolate is Senator Rodante Marcoleta. I move that he be recognized.
Senator Marcoleta is recognized to interpolate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I hope my friend is still able to accommodate a few questions.
Yes, Mr. President, to my idol, my campaign partner in last 2022.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am one of the supporters of this concurrent resolution, Mr. President. But my only concern are the practical issues that might all be the concern of our people. Like when we say public access or public participation, how much can we give to our people? Because we might not be able to manage people's expectation. There's so many information that we have itemized in these concurrent resolutions. We have not yet, for example, enacted this freedom of information bill, and of course there is a twin bill in that, the right of reply. We may be raising people's expectation unnecessarily by citing the Constitution, people's right to information, especially on the transactions, the fields of transactions, and then we will put that limitation as provided by law. Mr. President, the senators are national representatives, our people. The House of Representatives is comprised of more than 300 district representatives and party list. They too are elected representatives of our people. In this concurrent resolution, we are admitting, although impliedly, that our mandate of safeguarding the people's money needs people's participation. Parang hindi kompleto. Ba't kailangan pa naming tulungan kayo? You were there. You were elected. Baka isipin sa atin ng tao yan, Mr. President. Nandiyan na nga kayo eh. Now, you are making a concurrent resolution. It is as if that you cannot do your job fully. Hindi naman sa ayaw naming tulungan kayo. We are always ready to help you. The people are also interested in guarding the people's money. Pero saan ba kami talaga makakatulong sa inyo? Pagdating sa... Kasi po, ako po bilang isang naging congressman, Mr. President, may access na po ako sa information. Like, bago po ako mag-graduate sa House, ito pong pinakahuling budget, 2025 budget. Mr. President, when we were already on the first day of plenary debates, alam po ninyo, yung unang subject matter sa first day on plenary debates, ito po yung general principles. Wala pa pong agencies, Mr. President. I was about to ask some questions on the parameters set out by our national economic cluster. Hindi po ako nakapagtanong, Mr. President. A battalion of my colleagues prevented me from asking questions. So, Mr. President, kung ako po ay nandun na mismo, gusto kong magtanong man lang ng ilang tanong, hindi pa po ako nakapagtanong eh. Paano kaya po yung mga kababayan natin? How do we assure them? We wanted to give them a level of expectation, Mr. President. How do we do it? Paano natin sila pagbibigyan ng yung participation will be heard, it will be recognized, it will be vetted, kagaya po ng tinatawag ni Senator Soto kanina. Interesado siya rin na talagang malaman talaga. Talaga bang madidinig? Yan po ang gusto kong itanong, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, in the resolution, we also required that both houses should come up with a feedback mechanism, Mr. President. Kasi nga, you're absolutely correct, His Honor, that the information will be out there. People will be encouraged to look at the different details of the of our budget, and they will do their own analysis, but they have no way of reaching out to the senators. They have no way of reaching out to their representatives. There's no way for them to send their feedbacks. So that's why in this resolution, we also included a platform through their websites that people can now send their feedbacks, Mr. President. So it comes full circle. The information is there, but we also receive information. So that is the concept, Mr. President, that we are envisioning.
That will be going back to my original question, Mr. President. Kasi sasabihin sa akin nung public, ano ba yung pwede kong gawin na hindi mo pwedeng gawin? Nandiyan ka eh. Nakabantay ka nga dyan eh. Ang gusto kong malaman, sabi niya, Mr. President, yung hindi mo kayang gawin, kami nang gagawa. Yun ang exactly na gusto ko sana malaman kasi yung tao po naghihintay. Gusto rin nilang tumulong siguro, bakit naman hindi? But what are those things? What are those information that they themselves should access that we cannot do?
Well, Mr. President, like for example, meron ba tayong slide? Yung my X-check? Can you flash it? Mr. President, I'll flash a slide, no? And when we were doing the analysis of the process, we found out that only the NEP and the GAA is publicly available through the website, Mr. President. So if you are, let's say, a budget analyst, no? You want to analyze the budget, ito, Mr. President, only the NEP and the GAA is available in the internet. All the rest of the documents in between are not available. So if you want to analyze the budget, especially the movements, it's very difficult for analysts to track the movements because those information is not available in their website. So yun yung gagawin natin available, Mr. President, that the movement in the budget, especially critical documents, will be uploaded as mandated by the two houses, Mr. President.
And each of the senators of this republic, Mr. President, is in a position to secure the assistance of a budget analyst.
Not necessarily, Mr. President. People expect us to know the basic of the budget process and budget analysis. Of course, not all of us come from the same background, but the public expect us to know at least the basics, Mr. President.
That is the point, Mr. President. Ako po, dahil neophyte ako, I would expect a lot of assistance from my staff, mga kaibigan po namin na makakatulong sa pag-a-analyze ng budget. Importante
Correct,
po
Mr.
kasi
President.
ito. So sasabihin sa akin nung mga kabarangay ko halimbawa, which constitute a small portion of the public, bakit mo pa kailangan itong mga barangay mo? Meron kang mga staff na doon na mag-a-analyze dyan, matutulungan ka. Siguro hindi na kami kailangan sapagkat kami napakarami rin naming problema at saka mas meron kayong paraan at saka kayo may mga tao din kayo na talagang tutulong sa inyo. Parang parang sa kanila ay kalabisan na. Parang hindi kami masyadong makakatulong dahil sa kayo naman ay merong karanasan at kung wala naman ay talagang maraming tutulong din sa inyo para pagtulong-tulungan yung pag-a-analyze ng budget without the people themselves. Except, for example, in other instances like the academe, talaga naman pong nakakatulong yan.
Yes.
At talagang nandyan naman po sila talaga.
Yes.
Not necessarily the general public.
Yes.
Ano po?
Tama, Mr. President. In fact, typically, even here in the Senate, we engage the academe quite often, especially those who are involved in, let's say, public governance or political science. Parte ho yan ng kanilang mga aralin, Mr. President. So, in other words, we can also tap the academe to help analyze the budget. The budget is it's a very complex document and ang dami hong detalye. So if we can engage the academe to also participate in the analysis and help give us fruitful recommendations that can form part of our process, Mr. President.
Yun pong 2025 budget, Mr. President. Gusto ko po sanang gawing isang halimbawa ito. Nung matapos po yung BICAM, ako po ay member pa ng House of Representatives. Natanggap ko po yung BICAM report. Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, mga December 6 po yun, 2025, but about 6:35 in the evening. So napakakapal po yun, siguro about 400 pages, if I'm not mistaken. I tried my best na sundan po talaga, pero given the limited time, kasi masyado ng sigido po yun eh. Ang napagtunan ko na lamang po ng pansin, yung pinakahuli, Mr. President, I'm referring to the special provision in the BICAM report. Napansin ko po talaga, there were about 12 or 13 pages containing about 28 blanks. So ang ginawa ko po, Mr. President, ay tinignan ko po, pinagsikapan ko pong hanapin kung merong instruction na nandun nakalagay, like I was expecting that an annex is appended in the report where the material particulars that will be accomplished to fill up the blanks, the instruction to fill each and every blank in every page, sana nandoon yung, for example, on page 22 halimbawa, this is supposed to be the figure that will be written para maka-accomplish po yun. In other words, di ko po alam kung nagkamali ako, but I was unable to find a particular page signed by the conferees o ordering somebody, for example, the administrative staff of the House of Representatives or whoever was assigned to fill up those 28 blanks na nandun naman talaga halimbawa po and pinirmahan. Okay na rin siguro sa akin yun because hindi tayo mawawala because each blank has been designated with a particular data na ilalagay po sa blank. Wala po eh. So I was asking, nagpunta po ako sa office ng Secretary General. Nagbabakasakali po na makahingi ng makita yung enrolled bill because sa ating tuntunin, I think even in the Senate, meron pong 3 or 4 copies na naiiwan po sa either the Senate or the House of Representatives. The problem is, wala naman akong access. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin eh. Because I need to know, sino yung nag-fill up? Kasi po, nung ito'y submit na sa Office of the President in the form of enrolled bill, 4 na po yung signatories doon, Mr. President. Eh. The Speaker, and the Secretary General, the Senate President, and the Senate Secretary. Yung blank po sa pinakahuli, yun po ang para sa Pangulo na po. Doon sa pipirpa. So yung enrolled bill, kompleto na po yung detalye, but it did not tell the whole story as to who filled up and what is supposed to be filled up in all those material particulars. So yun pong public access natin, yung taong tutulong sa atin, paano po mapiprevent yung mga ganong pangyayari?
Well, Mr. President, thank you for that question. In fact, I raised that to our technical team here in the Senate that those things should not happen in the 2026 budget. Not under my watch, Mr. President. That the members will be given blank materials to sign, Mr. President. I reminded them to be very strict in the review. Kung kailangan po 2, 3, 4 times to review the documents before letting the members sign, they should do it, Mr. President. So that's a strong reminder to the technical staff, Mr. President. So I know that narinig ko rin yan, Mr. President, during the last budget season, Mr. President. I'm not very sure on the details, Mr. President. Personally, I didn't see any blank items, at least sa akin, Mr. President. But since that is an issue that came out, so I reminded our technical staff to be very detailed in scrutinizing the budget materials, Mr. President, especially the ones we will be signing, Mr. President.
Thank you for your assurance, Mr. President. Kanina po nilapitan ako ni Senator Ping. Pagtulungan natin, sabi niya. Thank you, Mr. President.
Tulungan o pagtulungan?
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta.
Thank you,
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we suspend consideration of Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 4.
Any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. President, Senator Rafi Tulfo would like to deliver a privilege speech. I move that he be recognized.
Senator Rafi Tulfo is recognized to deliver his privilege speech.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, I speak before you today on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Noong mga unang mga araw ko pa lang dito sa Senado, binigyan din ko na po sa mga committee hearings at sa plenaryo ang kahalagaan ng resibo. Pag sinabi ko pong resibo, hindi po yung binibigay ng mga kahera sa mga tindahan pag may binibili ka. Ito po ay yung pagkakaroon ng pruweba sa mga nangyayari. Halimbawa, kapag ikaw ay naakusahan ng isang bagay, itatanong mo, may resibo ka ba? Meaning, may pruweba ka ba? Ito ang kailangan natin sa ating mga ahensya sa gobyerno, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga law enforcement agencies. Ang paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, kailangan natin ng body-worn camera o BWC para sa ating mga law enforcers at karagdagang CCTV sa mga ahensya na alam nating maraming kalokohan ang nangyayari. Bato-bato sa langit ang tamaan, wala akong paki kung magagalit. Mr. President, my dear colleagues, para na po akong sirang plaka, pero sira pa rin po kasi talaga ang ating sistema. Marami pa rin pong nakarating sa akin ng mga insidente ng mga umaabusong law enforcers. At gayon din naman, may mga insidente rin na napagbibintangan sila at nagiging biktima ng maling paratang. And all these could have been avoided if there were body-worn cameras or CCTVs. Nagsimula po ang clamor ng pagkakaroon ng body-worn camera para sa ating mga law enforcers noong kasagsagan ng war on drugs ni Pangulong Duterte. I hope that my speech will not be politicized. Pero meron kasing batuhan ng akusasyon. Sinasabi ng mga tao na umabuso ang mga pulis at basta na lamang pumapatay. At sinasabi naman ng mga pulis na mga akusado ay nanlaban. Sino ang nagsasabi ng totoo? These issues could have been resolved with cold neutrality if the law enforcers had body-worn cameras. But incidents like these are not isolated to the war on drugs. There are other cases that reach my program where police officers conducted arrests with or without warrant that was not done properly and violated the rights of the accused and sometimes their families. To give life to my privileged speech, let me show actual incidents that have switched my program. Video. Ba't walang audio? Ba't walang audio? Where's the audio? Audio. No audio. Ano nangyari sa audio?
Nice.
Dapat kailan niyo pa inayos yan?
Asa na yun?
One minute suspension siguro, Mr. President. Ano?
Mr. President, minute suspension.
Session suspended.
Hinarang nga po siya ng mga nakamuli na polis at kasama na po yung Innova sa sasakyan.
Wala naman ho kayong papel eh. Asan ang papel nyo? Manghuhuli kayo. Pumasok pa sa loob ng bahay yan. Ayan.
Okay.
Ayan mga pulis daw, mga pulis. Walang papel, nanguhuli. Pinasok ang bahay namin, walang search warrant. Ayan ayan, Sir Rafi. Mga nangaharap. Sige kuya po.
Sino po yung hinahawakan?
Ayun po, yung kapatid ko pong tomboy po, sinampal po nung pulis po.
Oh, police. Alright. Wala pong nahuling hinahanap nila na Helmer.
Wala po.
Meron po silang dalang warrant.
Wala po. Pinakita
Ayun
po.
po yung sinasabi ko sa kanila. Kung may dala silang warrant to pares, pwede ko naman po silang papasukin eh.
Nakulong po kayo.
Opo.
Nagpiyansa lang kayo.
Opo.
Gaano katagal kayo nakulong?
1 linggo,
Mahigit.
1 araw.
Ano po yung kaso?
Kinasuhan po kami ng direct assault tas disobedience po.
May bata sa harapan niyo yan, kakasakay ng baril niyan. Natotrauma yung bata sa inyo.
Sige!
Ang unang kaso po ay mga pulis na may hinahabol at sinasabing hot pursuit ang kanilang operasyon. Pero yun nga, umabuso sila. Sinipa ang mga pinto at pinasok ang 5 bahay. Ang pangalawang kaso naman po ay ganun din. Walang warrant na pumasok ng bahay na hindi naka-uniform at nakasuot ng bonnet ang mga operatiba at sinaktan ang mga residente. Ang pangatlong kaso ay isang pulis na may hinahanap na tao na tinuro lamang sa kanya at nang di niya nakita ang taong hinahanap ay natake ang ibang bahay. Kung ang mga law enforcers ay may suot na body-worn camera, hindi siguro basta-basta nangyari ito. At hindi basta-basta sila makapang-abuso dahil meron ang sinasabing resibo. Ibig sabihin, merong ebidensya. Suportado rin talaga na marami ang paggamit ng body-worn camera at CCTV dahil sa mga kaso na mabilis na marisolbada sa kuha ng CCTV. In May 2025, a driver's SUV plowed into the departure area of NAIA Terminal 1, resulting in 2 fatalities. Early analysis of CCTV footage confirmed there was no vehicle in front of the SUV, suggesting the crash was unintentional. The video is central to the investigation. In April 2025, 2 unidentified individuals entered the security guard's duty post along General Avenue in Barangay Toro, Quezon City, and stole the guard's bag containing his service firearm and personal belongings. Police reviewed CCTV footage, which captured the suspects in the area and enables authorities to determine their identities. And in August 2024, a dashcam footage showed an MMDA traffic enforcer literally jumping into the hood of a speeding car to stop a driver fleeing from the accident in Taguig. The attempted apprehension was filmed, and authorities were able to retrieve the vehicle's plate number. The benefits of full implementation of BWCs in law enforcement and the installation of CCTVs has long been adopted by developed Asian countries such as Singapore and Japan. In May 2023, Singapore purchased over 109,000 CCTV and another 90,000 cameras recently, with a goal of having a total of 180,000 cameras by 2030. Meanwhile, they also have the full implementation of body-worn cameras to facilitate police investigators and the gathering of evidence. It is part of their technology roadmap to improve the efficiency of policing in Singapore. Meanwhile, in Japan, police officers have long been wearing name card-sized cameras mounted on the chest or side of the head to record their duties and provide evidence in cases of traffic violations and control crowd situations. It said, the National Police Agency aims to introduce the system nationwide after assessing the public reaction and impact on police duties. Here in the Philippines, the use of body-worn camera as a source of evidence of law enforcement operations has been recognized by our own Supreme Court. On June 29, 2021, Administrative Memorandum Number 21-06-08-SC, or the rules of the use of body-worn cameras in the execution of warrants, was triggered by the increasing reports of civilian deaths resulting from the execution of warrants issued by trial courts, the causes and conditions surrounding such deaths being widely disputed. Other government agencies have also seen the wisdom of this practice. 1. The Bureau of Customs issued its rule on the use of body-worn cameras in the exercise of Customs Police Authority. 2. The Bureau of Immigration issued their implementing rules and regulations for Bureau of Immigration CCTV cameras. 3. The LTO has the guidelines for the operation, maintenance, and accountability of officially issued body cameras. And to ensure the protection of all parties, the National Privacy Commission issued guidelines on the processing of personal data collected using body-worn cameras. The circular aims to establish protocols for the protection of data subjects, personal data, and their data privacy rights, ensuring accountability in personal data processing activities involving BWCs and ARDs. The PNP has already started buying body-worn cameras, and they reportedly have 2,696 BWC units distributed to 171 police stations. Due to the limited supply, they said that the distribution prioritizes personnel in police stations and national operational support units, including the CIDG, Drug Enforcement Group, Anti-Kidnapping Group, and Anti-Cybercrime Group. The purchase of more BWCs were criticized the past years for being overpriced. In 2019, the units purchased had a budget of 289 million pesos, or 289 million, or about 107,000 per unit, which includes a subscription lot. There were also statements from the PNP that the body-worn camera cost more than 135,000 per unit, since it also covers not just the camera, but also the accompanying program, docking stations, GPS capability, and internet, and SIM capability. Also, they claim that the video management software is scalable, providing a secure and comprehensive management of the videos and images taken. Despite the justification of the expensive cost, the PNP was still questioned because the purpose of the BWCs is simple. It is meant to capture, store, and retrieve videos. So as long as it could do all these, it is sufficient. Fortunately, the PNP addressed these concerns because in the August 14, 2023 hearing of the Committee on Public Order, they said that the BWC units they intend to purchase is now only 25,950 per unit. Biglang bubaba, nagmura. And more recently, during the budget hearing in November 2024, they said that the BWC they intend to purchase is only 33,000 per unit. Medyo nagmahal pero konti lang diferensya. According to the PNP, they need to purchase around 22,000 more body-worn cameras. Mr. President, the declarations of the PNP regarding the BWC units, its purchase and distribution, has been quite confusing. I hope to support the purchase and full implementation of BWCs and CCTVs, but there's a but we need their cooperation and transparency on the matter. They must provide us with a clear study of how much they need, the specification of the camera, and how it will be distributed. BWCs and CCTVs are very basic solutions, but it is very effective for law enforcement and public accountability. Kasi nga po, nagkakaroon tayo ng resibo, and so, in line with this, I've filed 3 bills this Congress. Senate Bill number 86, or the Law Enforcement Body-Worn Camera Act, which requires the use of body-worn cameras for law enforcement agents such as the PNP, the NBI, the PDEA, among others. I also filed Senate Bill number 439, or the Jails and Prison Monitoring Act of 2025, which provides a safe and secure environment for individuals arrested, detainees, and convicted inmates, and prevents illegal practices in our jails and prisons. Finally, I filed Senate Bill number 710, or the Barangay CCTV Surveillance Act of 2025. This will institutionalize the installation of security monitoring systems in all barangay posts and strategic public areas to deter crime. Mr. President, time and again, we are reminded that public office is a public trust. While trust in our police force is slowly improving, we could reinforce it by providing tools for accountability, because we must always be accountable to the people. Serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. Mr. President, I look forward for the support of my colleagues, especially the chair of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, none other than Senator Bato de la Rosa. Again, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Tulfo.
Mr. President, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa is seeking the floor. I move that he be recognized.
Senator Bato de la Rosa is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this is not an interpellation, but a short manifestation in support to the privileged speech of that gentleman from Isabela and Davao, Senator Rafi Tulfo. In all my years of public service, Mr. President, I have come to realize that someone is always watching. This is echoed especially by the life that I have chosen to lead. First as a soldier, then as a police officer, and then now as a Senator of the Republic. And as far as public service is concerned, Mr. President, those who are watching are also often the ones to whom we are answerable. Of course, this is not meant to scare or threaten. It is, as my experience tells me, merely a matter of fact that someone is always watching comes hand in hand with probing question. Now, what are we doing about it? It is in cognizance of this that I express my full support for the direction that the good gentleman from Isabela and Davao takes in his privileged speech. For our personnel in the Philippine National Police, it would serve them well to always be reminded that there are eyes which, though quiet, see their every move. For the same reason, they should exercise due mindfulness in what they are doing. I also wish to state for the record that in the previous Congress, your Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs was able to submit to this plenary Committee Report number 584, which then contained Senate Bill number 3005, or the Law Enforcement Body-Worn Camera Act. Under this bill, law enforcement officers are mandated to wear and activate body-worn cameras in the conduct of their law enforcement operations. Hindi rin kaila sa atin na may kaakibat na gastos ang panukalang ito. Kung kaya, nilagay rin natin sa ating proposed bill na kung sakaling hindi available ang body-worn camera, maaari silang gumamit ng alternative recording device. Sa tagal ko na sa serbisyo, Mr. President, sa tingin ko ay nasa posisyon na akong sabihin na ang isa sa pinakamahalagang aral na aking natutunan ay ito: integrity defines the public servant. Of course, doing what is right, even when no one is looking, is well and good. But the real challenge, Mr. President, is doing the right thing precisely because the rest of the nation is watching. Precisely because it is the whole nation that expects, demands that you do the right thing. For the 28th Congress, I have filed Senate Bill number 358 for the same purpose. Naway sa kasalukuyang Kongreso, may sa batas na natin ito. Rest assured that as your chairman of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, my commitment remains as strong as my sense of integrity. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to the good gentleman from Davao and Isabela, Senator Rafi Tulfo.
Thank you, Senator Bato de Rosa, Majority Leader.
Mr. President, next to make a manifestation is Senator Erwin Tulfo. I move that he be recognized.
Senator Erwin Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's not this is not an interpellation, rather it's a manifestation of support regarding the resolution filed by my brother, the gentleman from Davao and Isabela. Mr. President, suportado ko po ang sinasabi po doon sa resolusyon na panahon na po na bumili ang pamahalaan at bigyan po ng mga body-worn cameras, hindi lamang po ang mga pulis, kundi maging ang NBI, ganun din po ang PIDEA, para po para sa proteksyon ng magkabilang grupo, ng mga otoridad at ng mga sibilyan. Kasi po, pagdating ng may mga instances na sinasabing police abuses, pag-aabuso ng mga otoridad, ng mga arresting officers, sasabihin naman po ng kabila, hindi, nagsisinungaling yan. So parang he says, she says po yan. So nagkakaroon po ng debate sa korte. Diyan po magkakatalo, doon po sa mga ebidensya, doon po sa body-worn cameras, is the protection po, both of the authorities and at the same time, protection of the public from abuses. Sana nga po, gusto ko rin po sana dagdagan na rin ang panukala, hindi lang po sa ating mga otoridad, hindi lang po sa mga law enforcers, proteksyon na rin po sa ating mga militar, lalo na po sa mga squad level,
yung mga squad leader na lang po, wag na po, dahil sa dami po nila, bawat squad leader po, may body-worn cameras para hindi naman po maakusahan ng tinatawag na human rights abuses pag sila po ay nag-ooperate sa mga kabundukan o sa mga liblib na lugar para naman po proteksyon din po ng ating mga militar. At para makita din po na pag dumating po sa korte at sila po ay mademanda ng mga individual sa kabundukan, may maipapakita po sila na ginawa po nila ang tamang standard operating procedure sa kanilang operation. Yun lamang po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Erwin. Any response from the elder brother?
Of course, I'd like to thank Senator Erwin Tulfo, my brother, for the support manifestation. Thank you, Senator Erwin.
Just a curious question, Senator Rafi.
Yes, sir,
How come
Mr.
both
President.
of you hail from two different provinces?
Well, my mother is from Davao Oriental, and my wife is from Isabela. So I'm adopted son of Isabela, and Erwin is, he studied in Palawan. He grew in Palawan, Puerto Princesa. Siguro kaya inadapt niya yung Palawan, Mr.
Thank you
President.
for enlightening this chair. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we refer the privilege speech of Senator Rafi Tulfo and all the interpellation and manifestations thereon to the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs. So move, Mr.
Any
President.
objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that we elect Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan as chairperson of the Committee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of Codes, Vice Senator Robin Hood Padilla. So move, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. President, pursuant to Rule 10, Section 13 of our rules, I move to elect the following senators as members of the Committee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of the Codes. Vice Chairperson, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Rodante Marcoleta, yours truly as Deputy Majority Leader. And members are Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Wing Gatchalian, Senator Lito Lapid, Senator Amy Marcos, and for the minority, Senators Loren Legarda and Senator Panfilo Lacson, and our Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri. So move, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, the aforementioned senators are hereby elected.
Mr. President, I move to elect the following senators as members of the Committee on Women, Children, and Family Relations and Gender Equality. Vice Chairperson, Senator Pia Cayetano. Members, Senator Amy Marcos, Senator Camille Villar, Senator Win Gatchalian, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Rafi Tulfo, and Senator Bam Aquino. For the minority, with the conformity of the Minority Leader and Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Zubiri, I move to elect Senator Loren Legarda, Vice Senator Zubiri. So move, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none, the following are hereby elected as members of the Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality.
Mr. President, pursuant to Rule 10, Section 13 of our rules, I move to elect the following senators as members of the Committee on Accounts. Vice Chairpersons, Robin Hood Padilla. Yours truly as Deputy Majority Leader and Senator Rodante Marcoleta. With members, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Christopher Bongo, Senator Wing Gatchalian, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Mark Villar, Senator Lito Lapid, and for the minority, Senator Loren Legarda, Senator Risa Ontiveros, and Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri. For the Committee on Energy, Vice Chair...
Can you please move? Make a motion to...
I so move, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, the aforementioned senators are hereby elected.
Mr. President, pursuant to Rule 10, Section 13 of our rules, I move to elect the following senators as members of the Committee on Energy. Vice Chairperson, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Win Gatchalian, Deputy Majority Leader, yours truly, Senator J.B. Ercito, Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Members, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Christopher Bongo, Senator Lito Lapid, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Rafi Tulfo. For the minority, Senator Loren Legarda, Senator Risa Ontiveros, and Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri. So moved, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, the aforementioned senators are hereby elected to the Committee on Energy.
Mr. President, pursuant to Rule 10, Section 34 rules, I move to elect the following senators as members of the Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, Innovation, and Futures Thinking. For as Vice Chairperson, Senator Camille Villar. Deputy Majority Leaders, yours truly, Senator J.B. Ercito, Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Members, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Wing Gatchalian, Senator Lito Lapid. For the minority, Senator Loren Legarda, and Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri. So moved, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, the aforementioned senators are hereby elected to the Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, Innovation, and Futures Thinking.
Mr. President, pursuant to Rule 10, Section 13 for rules, I move to elect the following senators as members of the Committee on Ways and Means. Vice Chairperson, Senator Wing Gatchalian, Senator Rodante Marcoleta, Deputy Majority Leader, yours truly, Senator J.B. Ercito. Members, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Christopher Bongo, Senator Lito Lapid, Senator Camille Villar, Senator Mark Villar, Senator Rapi Tulfo. For the minority, Senator Panfilo Lacson, Senator Loren Legarda, and our Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri. So moved, Mr. President.
Is there an objection? There being none, the aforementioned senators are hereby elected to the Committee on Ways and Means.
Mr. President, I move that we dispense with the reading of the Journal of the 7th session, Monday, August 11, 2020, and consider same as approved.
Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that we adjourn the session until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of Wednesday, August 13, 2025.
Bilis, ah. Is there any objection? No objection? There being none, motion is approved. Session is adjourned until 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, Wednesday, August 13, 2025.